Even the greatest innovations must be evaluated for how they will have an impact at scale. Without the right strategy, many innovations fall into the pilot project trap and fail to have a global impact. So, why do so few innovations result in impact at scale? In November 2016, in Nigeria, two ambitious innovation scientists reflected on the question as to why so few innovations actually achieve impact at scale. Sure, we all know some success stories, but we often need to dig deep and think hard to come up with examples. Research leading to impact at scale should be the standard, not the exception, was their conclusion. But how do you do this? In a nutshell, there is often a mismatch between how people think innovation and scaling happens and how such processes actually happen. Our scientist identified 5 reasons why this process stalls. First, researchers often find it difficult to explain how their science will contribute to a measurable impact. Without this impetus, they are unable to sell their ideas to funders and partners during the next challenging phases. Due to the complexity of the scaling processes, it generally takes 10 to 15 years to mature from an early idea to prototyping to testing and validation and finally widespread use. People need to firmly believe in the science and to stick with it through thick and thin. Secondly, most scientists overestimate how ready their idea is to go out into the world. If they haven't proven it with clear evidence, then they create huge risks that will only get worse as the project grows larger. Also, innovations that have been proven to work in one country often do not automatically also work in another country. Copy and paste approaches simply do not work, as many researchers have learned the hard way. Third, organizations who may support the initial pilot often don't seem interested in investing to take it any further. This is especially true if they didn't make optimal use of available resources in earlier phases. They may want the innovation for a specific purpose, or for their use only, and see further investments as beyond their mandate. As a result, they may be resistant to carry on, even if they know this decision limits the impact of the innovation. Fourth, scaling of innovation is a political process, and it requires collaboration from a broad variety of stakeholders. It requires active engagement and negotiation with the private sector, government, and other partners. This takes time and skills that researchers may not have in their toolkits. This goes back to the power of selling the purpose of the innovation to keep people engaged. After all, the best strategy may not always be the one that stakeholders see as the most acceptable option. To keep them aboard, they need to believe that what you're doing will be worth the effort. Fifth, there seems to be a lack of critical reflection on what it takes to overcome bottlenecks for scaling. Scientists must monitor whether or not strategies and partnerships actually address bottlenecks and adjust their strategy as needed. That is easier said than done.